Hey, what's happening? Hey, y'all already know when we jump on this live and get these interviews in, y'all know we come with the ballers. Look, I don't know if y'all know Steven Houston, but that boy a baller, y'all. I'm talking about he did his thing. I guarantee y'all, players come up to him, especially at running back, and they want to talk to him. He probably be telling the linebackers, boy, if I was out here, boy, I run through you, boy. Hey, listen. Steven Houston is that guy, y'all. And we going to find out how he made the transition from a ball on the field to now a ball in the strength and conditioning field, baby. We going to find out, y'all. Let's bring him on. I'm talking about Little Rock, Arkansas in the building, baby. Hold on. We finna bring him on. We finna bring him on. Hey, Steven, what's happening, man?
What's happening, man? I appreciate you having me.
Hey, man, it's a blessing to have you on, man. Hey, listen, when I was looking you up, I was trying to find stuff on you. I told my wife, I said, dog, it's hard finding stuff on it. She said, all you gotta do is put in his name. I was like, nah, man, it's this ain't pulling up on it. But then when I caught wind and saw, boy, I saw you get down. You got down, man. I ain't even know it. I said, oh, I can't wait to get him online to talk. So let's run it back, man. Little Rock, Arkansas, man. I want to ask you about something just off the top of my head. Is it like that? I
Yeah,
done heard good and bad. So tell me just about how Little Rock
it,
really is.
it, everywhere you go, you got the good and the bad.
Right.
It's about what you make it.
Okay.
I had a good family, that kept me on the right path,
Right.
and I had to be home before the street lights was on.
Yeah.
But I also was in a lot of extracurricular activities. Growing up, I did football, basketball, baseball. The only sports that I didn't play was soccer and golf.
Yeah.
But I was in a lot of things. I was going from football practice to baseball games, to track practice, to basketball games. So I was always busy. But it's what you make it. I had the right men in my life to guide me in the right path of trying to make some of my life because I seen them make some of their life.
Now, I seen you was a baller in high school, you was a baller in college, and now you balling as a strength and conditioning coach. But I want to start it from right out of high school. Where did you have offers to? Because you that guy. You that guy. So where you had offers from out of high school? I know you went JUCO, but where you went, who was after you, man, out of high school? Where could you have went?
So I had two offers, but they were from the same coach. At Arkansas, Houston Nutt was there. It was the Darren McFadden era.
Okay.
Him and Felix Jones and Peyton Hillis.
Ooh,
And Houston Nutt is from Arkansas, and he
right.
came to my school, and he seen me work out a few times, and he saw me at a track meet, and then he came to some of my games going to my sophomore year,
Yeah.
and he offered me, and then I think like that following year he left and went to Ole Miss,
Yeah.
and so when he went to Ole Miss, he offered me after a camp
Yeah.
at Ole Miss. He was like, "Hey, just come to the camp and just come put on the show,"
Yeah.
And I had a fast 40 time, jumped one of the highest verts there, and we had a competition. I was killing everybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he offered me, a scholarship, to Ole Miss, and unfortunately, being young and not really understanding, the importance of being in class. I was quote unquote big man on campus when it was football season, basketball season, and
Yeah.
I was able to just like squeak by,
Yeah.
and it caught up with me, and I had to go junior college, and that humbled me and made me a man to be able to hold myself accountable. And
Right.
then when I was in junior college, it's really uh, it was really a roller coaster because in junior college I redshirted my first year. It was a running back that was committed to Oregon, so they were all hyped up on him, and he
Yeah.
was a good back. He taught me a lot. That was one of my
Right.
first mentors in the college realm.
Yeah.
And then that next year I had a great year, and the
You talking
phone
about
really,
Blunt, was it?
huh?
Was it Blunt?
Nah, so me and Blunt went to two different community colleges.
Oh, okay.
Um, I can't think of his name right now, but he actually went to the same high school as Felix Jones in
Okay.
Oklahoma.
Yeah,
And my next year in 2010, I balled out,
yeah,
but the phone wasn't really ringing a lot,
right.
and I didn't know really the importance of answering the phone. You know, like Utah called and told me that they wanted me to play fullback, but their offense was a little different, and
Right.
I was used to being in the I formation, just power running back, and um, they said fullback. I was like, nah, I'm not interested.
Yeah,
Um, then I went to Memphis for a visit, and Memphis didn't have any scholarships. That would have been close to home.
right.
Um, then I went to North Carolina on a visit, and they offered, I want to say like 2 days before signing day,
Yeah,
they offered me a scholarship, and I signed. And unfortunate turn of events happened with the university at that time, and Indiana had came on a visit to the school, and they was trying to look for a running back, and one of the recruiters asked about me, but I
right.
had already signed with North Carolina already, so I didn't even want to go in there and talk to him.
Yeah,
And when the stuff fell through with North Carolina, I had to eat some humble pie, and I called up IU and was like, hey, I called a running back coach like, hey, y'all still need a running back,
yeah,
this just happened with North Carolina. And I called on, I want to say, on a Wednesday. I was up there on a visit on a Thursday, and I was there that following month, to continue my football career in Big Ten play. And in all honesty, that was the best mishap that could have happened
right.
with whatever happened with North Carolina and all these scholarships falling through, because I made great relationships and great strides at Indiana, and I wouldn't change it for nothing.
Yeah. Now I gotta come back too now. I want to hit all that, but I gotta come back. When you got to the, because you say you were squeaking by because you're the man, and I get that. When How did JUCO start calling like, hey, bro, we got to have you, boy. I seen your film. You running through everything down there, Arkansas. Come up here with us. I know they were battling for you in Kansas. I know and probably the Mississippi school too. Like, bro, please come over here and run that ball with us. So how you
To
end up at your JUCO?
to be honest, not one JUCO was talking to me. So when I didn't qualify
Right.
to go to Ole Miss, Houston Nutt knew the head coach at Independence at the time,
Okay.
and so he called him, was like, "Hey, I got a guy for you. He gonna be amazing for you. I need you to take him." And Houston Nutt did me that solid, and I went up there
Did your
and
thing.
I was the number one running back in the 2010 class
Now, now check this. Houston Nutt been a blessing to you. Why you ain't go back with him?
because he got let go. Yeah,
Oh, so you
he got
basically would have been at
let
Ole
go.
Miss.
I would
You,
have,
yeah.
because
Dang.
I went in. I graduated high school in 2009. They had a running back by the name of Brandon Bolden, and when I went on my visit, after I got the scholarship offer, I went on my visit,
Yeah.
and he was my host. And we was just talking, and we was talking about how we was gonna dominate, how Darren McFadden and Felix Jones
Yeah.
did. And we was having like jokes like, hey, I'm gonna be Darren McFadden, you're gonna be Felix Jones
Yeah.
type stuff,
Yeah.
just having
Yeah.
fun. And after my first year, Houston Nutt was on the hot seat,
Oh,
but they were winning, but he was on the hot seat. And then after my season was done, because our season ended a little bit earlier than
right.
theirs, he had got let go after the 2010 season, if I'm not mistaken. And so I think Hugh Freeze came in after him,
Right.
and they let me out of my scholarship. And
Ah,
so, they had guys that they wanted to bring in, and I had to respect it. And
right.
so, I had to eat a little bit of humble pie again,
Yeah.
and then that's when I, got the call from North Carolina, and that was a blessing too, because my high school coach in Arkansas, Coach Harris, knew the linebacker coach at the time.
Yeah.
And I was on a break, and I was working out at my old high school. I was working out, and my coach and his buddy who was at North Carolina, he's retired now.
Yeah.
They were just passing through.
Yeah.
They was getting ready to go play golf or something, and he saw me working out, and he was like, "Hey, we got to get this dude on a visit." I was out there playing 7-on-7 with some of my guys that were still in high school, and some guys that I played with in high school that had graduated with me.
Yeah.
So it was just a blessing. It's all by the grace of God that I was put in these positions. A couple of them I fumbled, but I was able to pick it back up, and then once I got the ball back in my hand, I never let it go.
Hey, them blessings been rolling to you, man. So
rolling.
Hey, so when you and then what's the odds Indiana come through right around the time the North Carolina stuff happened? So when you called him back, what he was thinking like, bro, you should have just hollered at me when I was there.
So I don't want to say I was cocky. I was just overconfident,
Yeah.
And when I had signed with North Carolina, Giovanni Bernard was a freshman, and they had another running back. His last name was Houston as well. I forgot his first name. Yeah. But, it was this big hype about three-headed monster and all this and that, And I'm young, so I'm getting into the hype. And I'm like, when Indiana came, I knew they was coming.
Right.
And I told my offensive coordinator, like, I'm going to North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I went on a visit, fell in love with the campus, the players. You know what I'm saying? It's nice. It's, and I was like, man, I'm, how now it's 1,000% committed type stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just so gung ho. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to come holler at them. They was asking for me, just to try to see what they could do. Yeah. And I was like, I'm good. I was trying to put my other running back on, like, hey, tell them to holler at my boy Vale. He was a good running back. Like, so they wanted me. And so after it didn't happen, I put out an article on JUCOfootball.com, I think that's what it was back in the day.
Yeah.
And I put out an article. I called one of the journalists, and I was like, hey, I need to put this article out. I need a home quickly. Yeah. And by the grace of God, Utah had called back, but they still wanted me to play fullback. And you know how Lamar Jackson was like, I'm playing quarterback. I'm not making no switch.
Right, exactly.
I was set in my ways. I'm not playing fullback. I was like, I'll come in and play running back. I was like, but I'm not playing fullback.
Right.
And I also played defense before I got to junior college. I played cornerback. I was like, I'll play cornerback before I play fullback.
Yeah.
And they was like, no, we need a fullback. I was like, well, y'all gonna have to find somebody else. So, I sat down with my mom, my grandma, and my grandfather, and I was like, I should call IU back because the recruiting coordinator left his card, but he also left the running back coach's card, Coach McCullough. Yeah. And I called Coach McCullough, and like my voice was raspy. You could hear the nervousness in my voice.
Right.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because the whole fam, like my older cousin who I looked up to played ball, and he kind of had he had one too many dislocated shoulders.
Dang.
And so that kind of derailed his career. But I was making it for a lot of people.
Right.
And it wasn't that I got to get my mom out the hood type thing, because we were pretty well off, but I wanted to let people live through me type stuff. Yeah. And when I didn't, when the things fell through, I was like, hey, Coach McCullough, hey, this Stephen Houston, at Independence. And Coach McCullough was like real enthusiastic when we was talking. He was like, man, I'm sorry what happened with North Carolina, but I'm glad at the same time.
Yeah.
I like you. I want you up here. Hey, let's get you on a visit. And like, I want you to be my back.
Right. Ooh.
And I went on a visit. You know, I had to earn it
Yeah.
because it was different coming from high school to junior college, from junior college to Big Ten ball, and I had to earn it. But when I went there, it was at first I thought it was the worst decision of my life. You
Wow.
know, once we got into the season, because I was still like I got the summer late, I was behind.
Oh.
I was kind of out of shape because I had to take a few classes to get in there.
Yeah.
But like I didn't know how to practice, you know, like because I was the man in junior college and high school.
Yeah.
I ain't have to do much practicing, you know, like I practiced, but I didn't know how to really practice to make it like the game.
Right.
You know, and no disrespect to my junior college coaches, you know, they were great coaches.
Yeah.
They had a lot of faith in me, but I was just going off pure talent. I didn't lift. I was country strong, you know,
Yeah.
and so I was just going off of pure talent. And when I got to IU, I had to learn how to not learn how to lift weights, but I was already strong, but learn how to be in that type of structure and being able to adjust and learning how to practice just faster than I would play the game.
Ooh.
And that took me like my first year there. It took me from camp all the way to Big Ten play. And when we got into Big Ten play, you know, the first 4 games is quote unquote preseason, but you know, it's the non-conference schedule. And I got a little playing time there, but it pissed me off to the point that like when I get my opportunity to start, I'm never looking back.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what happened, you know. And I just took hold in that first Big Ten game against Penn State and never looked back.
So you took off like a rocket. So when you actually got in the game, when did you actually start that first season at Indiana? Was it that first game of Big Ten play or maybe the second game?
It was the first game of Big Ten play in 2011. We played Penn State, and
how you felt?
The very first game was against Ball State. I got a little PT, but the other running backs before me, they had a way better camp than me.
Right.
Like they camp was way better. Like they was picking up the plays faster, all this and that. The second game, I didn't play at all as far as like in the downs. I just played special teams.
Right.
Then the third game, I played a little bit. And then the fourth game against North Texas, I played in the fourth quarter. And we were down like 21-7. And like we lost like 27-21. But I played in the fourth quarter and I had like 98 yards in the fourth quarter.
Ooh, boy, you were hungry, boy.
And I was pissed off, and I wanted to like we went to North Texas, so my family can't say, I'm not getting back on the bus. I'm going home. Like I'm for the transfer. Like y'all not playing me, and you see what I just did. Like y'all, like y'all went crazy. And I talked to Coach McCullough, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I see it now. You in shape, you know." And he was like, "You gonna start next week?" But he was like, "You gotta be way better in practice this week. Like you can't have no mental errors, none of that. You know, you got to be on point." And then once I got into practice, I made it a point to like be sharp on everything. And after that, when we went out there for kickoff, for kickoff return, they did the kickoff return, and I was going out there first. You know, I enjoyed the moment of going out there first for like 5 seconds, and then it was time to get busy.
Yeah.
It was time to get busy.
Now, when you out there balling, because you got records at IU, you got records. Because my he like a big brother to him. His name Marcus Floyd. He played at Indiana, and he was a running back initially, and then he ended up switching over to DB. He was there when Randall L was there.
Okay.
Because you know Randall L, the man out there. So Randall L was there. He even played against Charles Woodson while he was there. So he out there with them. And so that's how I know about IU ball. But man, you ripping it up. You getting all these accolades. You got your name in the books, right? But when I check your social media and stuff, you don't say nothing about it. Like, what make you not have nothing about it? Because that's what I was telling my wife. Like, babe, I can't find nothing on him. And I say I'm finding stuff, but I gotta look at his face to make sure it's him because he ain't saying nothing about it. So
Yeah,
on social media, why don't you say nothing about that you was a dog? Like you that guy.
Nah, it's more of the way I was raised. You let other people talk for you.
Well, hey, I'm talking, y'all. Stephen Houston is that guy. If I'm at school, I'm coming to holler at him too. Cause he gonna tell me some stuff that maybe a coach may not tell me because they ain't go the route that he went. So, bro, boy, you got a story, bro. And I'm glad you giving us the story. So, all right, fast forward. You made it to the league.
I did. Yeah.
So tell me how that went. Like, tell me how that felt, man. Actually put on that helmet, buckle up. They got your stuff sitting in the locker, not just anybody's stuff. Your stuff, helmet for you, shoulder pads, the jersey, the whole nine. Man, how that feel just to get to step on that field? Like, I am that guy.
It was bittersweet, you know. It was bitter because I wasn't drafted, you know, and I told myself, man, I'm gonna get drafted. You know, it's the luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? It's all about, you know, what these teams need at that time. And I wasn't drafted, and it kind of, you know, pissed me off. But that was the bitter part. But the sweet part was that, you know, I was getting calls for deals and offers, and I initially went to the Patriots first, and the Patriots gave me the most love. You know what I'm saying? Like, they came out on a private workout. I stayed in contact with the running back coach, like through the whole draft. You know, but it was a surreal moment. You know, to get off that plane and get in the car and go to, you know, Foxborough, go to Patriot Place, and go into the building, and like, you go to your locker. It's your number. It's your name on the back of the shirt. It's all your stuff. Like, they fitting you for a helmet, and your name is on the inside of the helmet type stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a wonderful moment. You know, I played for them. I played for the Steelers.
But hold on. You gotta let me get in on this Patriots now.
Yeah.
This is the squad. Was Tom Brady still there?
Tom Brady was there. Gronk was there. Edelman was there. Amendola was there. Darrelle Revis was there. Brandon Browner was there. Vince Wilfork was there.
Oh, you was there with the dogs. What?
Shoot, I can't think his name right now. In the Super Bowl, he made the pick. I can't think his name.
I know you're talking about Rod Harrison.
No. I'm having a brain fart. I can't think his name right now.
Talking about that pick that caught it at the end zone.
Yeah, the one in the end zone. I can't think of his name right now. I can't think his. And he gonna be pissed off too, because that's my dog. But I can't think his name right now. It's just drawn a blank. But
on that play when Russell threw it.
Yeah.
Bro, you know for a fact Marshawn.
I played with Blunt too.
That's why I thought. That's what I thought was.
Because that's when Blunt came from the Steelers.
So with y'all.
Oh, you know, when he got released, he came back to the Steelers.
They say they in the chat saying, was it Butler, Marcus Butler?
That's who it was.
Malcolm Butler.
Butler. That's who it was. Yeah, that's who it was.
Bro, you out there with the dog. How did it feel? Listen, bro, you really listen. I knew you was that guy once I looked you up, but I ain't think about the Patriots part. Bro, he the man. He the man of all men in the NFL. So how did you get to talk to the head man?
Who, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I don't really, you know, we talked a little bit, but it was, you know, it's just business. You know, I go into work to feed my family.
Yeah.
I'm not really there for too much conversation. You know, I'm there for business, and you know, everybody around is there for business too. And in the end, cats trying to take food out your mouth, you know, not intentionally, but intentionally.
Right, because
you know,
they want that
'cause
money too in the live, right? Yeah.
exactly. So, you say what's up to them and you have a few conversations with them, but you really keep it brief. Like it's not really. Now, he not a bad guy. He'll talk to you.
Yeah.
He just monotone. He just
Yeah.
one tone, but like he'll have a conversation with you. But he is a smart mind. Like I love to when we got in team meetings and his favorite line is that I've forgotten more football than you will ever learn.
Ooh,
And so
dog.
like he'll bring up old stuff from when he was on the when he was on the Browns and things like
Him
that.
and Nick saving them.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's crazy. Like he'll mastermind, but you know, I kept it brief.
Yeah.
So
Now you say you went to the Steelers next.
uh
How that went?
the Steelers was cool. You had Le'Veon Bell, you had Ike Taylor, you had
Man, I
Will
met Ike
J.
Taylor. I met Ike Taylor and Foot, Larry Foot. I think that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
They used to train down there in Orlando at Tom Shaw, and Tom Shaw blessed me with letting me come out there. Boy, I used to love that, man. The Steelers used to rock hard with Tom Shaw. You probably even met Tom Shaw because he was with the Patriots too at one time, like doing stuff around the program. But go ahead, tell me about them Steelers.
Uh, the Steelers was a little bit different. Mike Tomlin is he's a he's a player's coach that that you can identify with. You know what I'm saying? He's not like Bill is just more do your job when it's time to practice, but Mike Tomlin will go out his way to come holler at you. I
Yeah,
remember one time I had a play. I was wearing number 43 at the time,
yeah,
and we was in practice, and I made a cut, and I got and I scored.
yeah.
And he was like, all right, 43, you trying to make the team, huh? And then he pulled me to the side and we rapped for like 2 or 3 minutes. I
Yeah,
get back in and things like that. But like, he real down to earth, but like his mindset of the game is always like years ahead. You know,
yeah,
you had Big Ben, him and Big Ben, um, you know, Mike would come in and had a team meeting and he was an offensive guy, so he'll stay for the offensive side of the ball meeting. When you break up, offense defense, and he'll stay for the meeting,
yeah.
and like he'll be like, "Hey Ben, take it over." Like the offensive coordinators didn't even really do too much talking, like. Ben would usually start and finish the meeting. They'll chime in,
Oh,
but
Ben ran the show like that.
yeah, Ben was good, and I was on the team with Antonio Brown and everything. Him, Ben and Antonio Brown had a different type of connection. It made no sense, like the way that they could, see the play before it happens. You had who else did you have? Uh, I forgot who our tight end was, but it was Ryan Shazier's rookie year. Um, Stephon Tuitt's rookie year from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You had Cam Hayward on the defense line. The Pouncey twins was there.
Now that's Polk County, baby. That's Polk County right
the,
there.
the Pouncey
Yeah.
twins was there. But it was a great experience. I was there for 1 year, and then after that, kind of the phone didn't ring for a year as far as like from the league.
Yeah.
So this is kind of how I got back into strength and conditioning.
Mhm.
Is that I went back to my alma mater,
Right.
and my strength coach was still there, and I was like, "Hey, I want to train. Can you train me?" He's like,
Right.
"Yeah, but I ain't gonna do it for free." I was like, "How much you need?" He was like, "You gonna come intern?
Oh,
You gonna come
that's
intern?"
good. Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And
Hold on, you like lifting weights like that though?
I don't want to say I like lifting weights, but I like the way my body feels,
Okay. That's enough.
and
Yeah.
and I like the way, and I like the health benefits that it gives me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for when I was in college, my strength coach, we used to challenge him.
Yeah.
And he would step up to the challenge and he'll do whatever we challenged him on. And he rarely lost. I think he may have lost one time, but it was to me because I'm different.
Yeah.
But like, so I took that into mind. Like, so I always had to stay ready so I wouldn't have to get ready. But, I was still being in shape for if the league was going to call and
Right.
things like that. So I would come in and intern in the morning from 6 to like 8. Then
Yeah.
I would train from 9 to 10.
Yeah.
And then I would intern again from 11, then again at 1. So
Yeah.
I was starting to see it from the other side of standing back and coaching it instead of me being an athlete in it.
Right.
And it was just fascinating, different points of views. Because towards my last year of college, I was more fascinated that my body was changing. I was in better shape,
Yeah.
lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
I was faster.
Yeah.
So being able to see and hear how my coach would program and how he came up with this stuff, it made me interested. And so while I was interning, I got a call from Saskatchewan Rough Riders in
Okay.
Canada.
Yeah.
And I
CFL.
went up there to the CFL and played.
Yeah.
And then after I finished with the CFL, I
NFL.
transitioned back down to working with my alma mater, and I transitioned over to basketball because
Strength
one of the
conditioning.
because one of the assistants that was on the football staff when I was in college got the head job at basketball
Yeah.
at IU basketball. And I was just going over there just to help him out because it was just him by himself.
Right.
I was interning at first, and I was going over there to help him set up, break down, and learning from a different way to program other than my head strength coach, and
Right.
programming differently for basketball than you would
Football.
for football.
Yeah.
And so when I got over there, Coach Crean, who's been a great he's been a great influence in my life.
Yeah.
A great I don't even want to call it a connection because it's more like a father son type deal. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And Coach, I remember like yesterday, I went in. They was having like a little team workout
Right.
as far as like on the court,
Yeah.
and I was going out there playing defense. And Thomas Bryant, OG Anunoby, Yogi Ferrell, Troy Williams,
Yeah.
James Blackman, like these guys all played in the league.
Yeah.
OG Anunoby has won a championship. Thomas Bryant just won one with the Denver Nuggets. So I'm picking them apart because I had fast hands.
Yeah.
And Coach Crean was like, "Y'all don't know who this is," and the only people who knew me was Yogi Ferrell, James Blackman, and Troy Williams because that Yogi was a freshman when I was a redshirt sophomore,
Yeah.
and then Troy Williams came the next year, and so did James Blackman. So they knew me, but they didn't know me, and he
Yeah.
gave him some background. And he was like, "Hey, can you come back tomorrow?" And I was like, "You ain't even got to ask."
Yeah.
And we just built a relationship, and he just saw my work ethic, and he knows a lot of people.
Right.
And we went to play Michigan, and
Basketball.
yeah, and his brother-in-law is Jim and John Harbaugh. He's married to their sister,
Right.
and we went to play Michigan. Jim and John come in the locker room, and I just go up to Harbaugh and I was like, "Hey, I'm a free agent. Um, I'm available. I'm in shape.
Yeah.
Coach Crean can vouch for me. Coach can vouch for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always available." I just went out on a limb. And I think like so we won the Big Ten championship outright that season.
Yeah.
Went to the Sweet 16, beat Kentucky, lost to North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
North Carolina goes on to win a national championship.
Right.
So and CBS was like, whoever wins this game is going to win the national championship.
Yeah.
And we lost by like 5 points.
Oh boy, you almost
And
was at the
we
chip.
we was almost we was 2 games away from the chip. And I went on a workout at the Ravens probably I want to say like maybe 3 weeks later, I went on a workout.
What year is this?
This is so we won the championship in 2015, 2016. I went in April of 2016 for a workout in
So you
Baltimore.
probably met my boy, one of my football teammates, Webb. Was Webb on the team then?
But there as well,
Yeah.
yeah,
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 man. That was my teammate in college, man.
yeah. And I went on a workout, ran a fast time, looked good. But they had just signed Trent Richardson, and they had like 10 backs already.
Yeah.
And so I went back. This time, summertime rolls around. I do the whole summer with IU basketball, strength and conditioning, and I get a call from my agent. He was like, "Hey, they're gonna bring you back for a workout. They said if you can pass their conditioning test, they're gonna sign you." I was like, "What's the conditioning test?" And he told me it was 200-300 yard shuttles, but it was in 25-yard increments. So you do 150, 150, that's 1 300-yard shuttle, 150, 150. But you had to get to 150 yards in like 27 seconds.
Ooh, boy, you
So I
got
was like, all right. So I was like, all right. So I was practicing it with my strength coach. We went to the football field and I was making it like 28, 28, 28, 28, 28. I was like, damn.
yeah,
But I also had to realize that, I'm already in shape, but I'm trying to get this technique down so I can have no wasted motion.
right.
And I get a call from my agent like, hey, they're gonna bring you up on Friday. So this is like a Monday. They're gonna bring you up on Friday. I'm like, all right. He called me back on Tuesday night. He was like, hey, they're gonna bring you up on Wednesday. Are you ready? I was like, I ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
So I went up there on when I got in at midnight. I got in at midnight. I was up at 6. I was running by 8 o'clock. I was in 12 minutes, my life changed. From me warming up at 8 to me finishing by 8:12, I smoked the condition
Time.
test. Yeah. And like so they was like 27 seconds. But when I got there, they was like, hey, you gotta make it in 30. I was making it in 27.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
You
you was
know,
good out the gate.
so I was good regardless. And I got signed, and that first year I was on the practice squad. And it was great. And then the next year, I floated up and down practicing on the active roster. But after that, I kind of just walked away from the game
Yeah.
because when the politics get involved,
Yeah.
I'm not for the politicking.
Right.
It was guys that I knew that I was better than, but it was more money invested, and it is what it is because business is business.
Right.
It was no hard feelings when I walked away. We
Right.
walked away on a good note, shook hands, and I got into strength conditioning. I left there and went to New Mexico with
Yeah.
one of my other. He was an assistant when I was in college on
Yeah.
the football team, and he was
Yeah.
the head strength conditioning coach at New Mexico, Armand Satchel.
Yeah.
And I went out there and I worked for him, and I got certified and just been rolling out like ever since.
Now, what happened at New Mexico? You was on the football side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, from there, how long you stayed there?
I was there for 2 years. So Coach Satch was there for my first year,
Yeah.
and then he got a better opportunity at Louisville
Right.
to go join their staff,
Yeah.
and it was a better opportunity for him. And then the next guy that came in, his name was Scott Hallsopple.
Right.
And you remember when Marquette went to the Final Four and they had Dwayne Wade on that
Yeah. Yeah.
team?
Yeah. Yeah.
Coach Crean was the head basketball coach then at
Oh.
Marquette,
Yeah.
and the strength coach was Scott Hallsopple.
Oh. Right.
So me and Hallsopple had a little connection through Coach Crean,
Yeah.
and I worked for him. I worked with him for a year, and then after that, I went back home because after that season, the head coach got let go. So when the head coach get let go, everybody get let go.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the new guy that was coming in did a clean sweep. He didn't retain anybody, and so I went back home to Arkansas, and I worked in the school district as a special needs para.
Okay.
So I was working, with I'm gonna call them gifted children. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't want to call them that. I'm calling them
Right.
gifted
Right. Right.
children. And I was there for like, I want to say 6 months.
Yeah.
And I got a call from Charleston Southern to come be the head basketball men's and women's strength coach. And
I didn't heard about you.
so when I was playing in the league and I was going back to work out,
Yeah.
one of the interns there at the time, he had got the head job out there.
Mm-hmm.
And when he got the head job, I saw it and I congratulated him. And
Right.
I left it at that.
Yeah.
Just congratulations. He was like, "Hey man, the guy that's here, that's doing men's and women's basketball, is about to leave, and I know you got a background in men's and women's basketball. Would you be interested?"
Right.
And I was like, "Yeah." I wasn't in the field at the time. I was like, "Yeah." So
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
called me, and it was COVID year, and it was 2020.
Right.
COVID had, it was starting to get at its peak,
Oh, that
and
March. That March.
it was
Yeah.
starting to get at its peak, and me and the missus, we drove to Charleston, South Carolina, and I was there for a year.
Yeah.
But COVID kept knocking us out as far as like, at that time you had to quarantine for 2 weeks. If you had it, you had to quarantine for 2 weeks. If you didn't have it, you had to quarantine for a week. So I got COVID the first, so we had workouts in May. We had some guys stay in May. And then, we had to do a COVID test before everybody got back in June, like 2 days before we started.
Right.
So I went and got a COVID test. Well, I got the COVID test in school, and I had COVID. So I was out for 2 weeks. And that kind of put us behind the 8 ball because it had, my guy Brand Gilbert, that was the head guy doing my sports. And, he runs a good program, but it's not what I was doing.
Right.
So when I got back, one of the players that got COVID, so it knocked out half of the team.
Yeah.
And so it was just a revolving door. And we had a smaller weight room, and our protocols were different compared to like a Colorado or Purdue or IU, because it's a bigger weight room.
Right.
And it was knocking us out. So I never really got to see my program flourish
Right.
the way that I wanted to. And I was so excited for that following season to come around. And I got a call from Purdue. And I left and went to Purdue.
Now you got called for Purdue for football or basketball?
For football. For football.
Who knew you there?
So now it's all about who you know.
Listen. But the main person in the whole story is the God. Boy, he blessing you good. He blessing you good. Because when he hit you back with that basketball, when he threw you over the basketball, boy, that thing put a lot of tools in your tool belt. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think the blessings kept coming even more, when I got married. He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Ooh, what you say,
what I'm saying? And so when I got married, I think the blessings really started to unfold because now, like, my house is a home type deal,
Yeah.
But so my teammate is also in strength and conditioning.
Uh-huh.
He's now the head strength and conditioning coach at BYU. His name is Ryan Phillips.
Yeah.
And so we played together in college for 3 years.
Right.
And he was a great player. He just walked away from the game. And he called me, was like, "Hey, we got a position here at Purdue. Yeah. Would you be interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Power 5 football. That's Big Ten. It's my rival school, but at the end of the day, it's an elevation from where I'm at in my career to better in my career."
Right.
And I did the interview and I got the job. I did the interview in March of 2021.
Yeah.
I got the job in April of 2021. I was there May 5th of 2021.
Right.
And I was there from May of 2021 to December of 2022.
Okay, now that brings us to Colorado. Who you knew at Colorado now? But now we here where you at. So
Yeah.
who knew you at?
So
Who knew you here?
so Coach Mo Sims, when I was in college, was an assistant on the staff at
Come on,
IU.
man. Where at? Where at Indiana?
Football.
So he was the strength. He was one of the strength coaches while you was a player.
Yeah. My last year, he
Boy,
was
God
one
be
of the
blessing you,
strength
boy.
coaches.
You
Yeah.
blessed, boy. You
And
blessed.
so when I was at New Mexico,
Yeah.
so we have a strength and conditioning conference. It's a national conference every year. And this particular year, I went, and he was at Army at the time.
Yeah.
Coach Mo was at Army, and I saw him. Me and some of my other fellow strength and conditioning coaches saw him, and I was like, "Man, what's up? How you doing?" He was like, "Man, I'm good." He was like, "I didn't know you was in the field now." I was like, "Yeah, but I'm just breaking in as far as, trying to find a home. I'm just breaking in."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, take my number down." And I would bounce ideas off of him. When I got to Charleston, I bounced ideas off of him. And he also called me a few times about jobs at a couple HBCUs.
Yeah.
And they just went the other way. They was looking for a guy with a little bit more experience at the time. And sometimes the experience was hindering me from getting jobs,
Right.
because I was so fresh in the game.
Right.
It was hindering me from getting jobs. But he, I kept tabs on him. He kept tabs on me.
Right.
And when he was at Georgia, he won the national championship when they won the first one.
Yeah.
And then he left and went to Jackson State. And when he went to Jackson State, I congratulated him, and I was joking with him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to come down there,
Yeah.
like put
Now,
me on a
I know you
roster."
might have been joking, but you probably was a little serious too.
Just a little bit, but at the
Yeah.
time, you know what I'm saying, the financial situation wasn't
Okay.
going to be conducive to me and my family,
Right.
But it was probably like 95% joke, 5% see
Yeah.
what you can do for me.
Yeah.
But when Coach Prime came to Colorado, he brought Coach Mo with him, which was a blessing for a lot of people. And he called me. He asked, "Man, hey, you want to rock with me?" And I was like, "Man, that's a no-brainer," because after we played in the Big Ten championship at Purdue, Coach Brom left and went to Louisville.
Coach Brom, that boy.
And so he took the head strength coach with him, and it just ran our course with me and the head strength coach.
Yeah.
We ended on good terms. We just walked our separate ways. It was just time to,
Right.
just time to, I go right, you go left. I wish you the best type stuff. So, he gave me a home, when I didn't have one.
Right.
And it's been the best thing since I've been here. It's been a breath of fresh air. The players come in enthused, ready to work. Our strength staff is probably the best in the country.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you. On
that. I got faith in every single one, from Coach Mo to Coach Tessa Ua, to Coach Rendrick Taylor, to Coach Brandon Reyes, to myself. Like, the only reason why who the head strength coach is because Mo projects that. But it's times where Coach Mo be like, "Hey, do your thing."
Yeah.
And he'll sit back and he'll let you take over.
Right.
Just so you can have that experience of controlling controlling the organized chaos that's about to happen.
Right.
Our our workouts are live. They're juiced up.
Yeah.
We bring the best out the players, and in turn, it bring the best out of us.
Right. Man, boy, you got. Hey, I knew your story was gonna be good, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this type of good, boy. God bless you so much. Now you know what's crazy. My strength coach that was at University of South Florida with me, he's either at Washington or Washington State. Coach Ron Matt.
Ron McKeefe.
Yeah. We call him Coach Matt. Which one he at? Either was it
He at Washington.
Okay, I knew because I said because when I talked to the strength coach that went viral during the we interviewed the strength coach that was at Georgia Tech, but now I think he at Charlotte now. He went viral.
Coella. I can't say his name right. I'm always messing it up.
We interviewed him and he went viral like right after we interviewed him with that morning talk, or when he was talking to the boys, talking about how long you gonna run. If you don't know the finish line, would you keep running? And he told me he was, and small world, he was connected to Coach Matt. He was like, Coach Matt still coach. I was like, wait, the strength. So that's funny, man. I'm gonna bring him on for an interview too, man. That's crazy, man. So
yeah,
now that you here with Colorado, when did you actually get to meet Coach Prime?
I met Coach Prime my first day once I got here. He came in the weight room, introduced myself, and Coach Prime fashion. He was like, "Hey, we work now."
Yeah,
I'm never gonna shy away from nothing. Yeah. I was like, man, that's all I know. All I know is work.
Right.
But it's been good. He come in and he say what's up, and he'll talk to us every now and again.
Yeah.
He likes what we do. Tell us keep going. I like what I'm saying, and sometimes if he don't understand it, he'll ask a question, and we explain it, and we just got to make it make sense to him.
Right.
And then it's good.
He rock with it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with you being there and the spotlight on all y'all, it's on all y'all, man. How does that feel?
It's easy for me. I played under the lights my whole life.
Yeah, that's all you know then.
So that's all I know. But everybody in there is a winner. You know what I'm saying? So all we know how to do is win. When you're winning, although we haven't won here yet,
right?
But when you come from a pedigree of winning, that don't really bother you because what is, what the goal is at hand. Everybody in our strength room is a winner. Yeah. Everybody upstairs is a winner. So you got the cameras and stuff, but we don't really see them. That's just that's just background noise. Yep.
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna let my family ask you some questions, man, if you don't mind, because I always let them ask some questions. Okay. Boy, you done listen. I've been interviewing players, me and my business partner, since 2019. You got by far, I got to say, you number one, brother. I ain't never seen this many connections with how your life, man. I already know you, boy. Your blessings I know your blessings overflowing now. But I could just imagine how they gonna get better and better and better, because boy, your story is amazing. Hey family, y'all get y'all questions ready, because I'm finna come over there. Hold on, somebody already asked one. Let me see. Hold up, y'all. Let me go back to it. Y'all don't get mad at me, man. I'm trying to get what I can see now. He done gave us the whole world, boy. Rod the Man Media said, how is it working with Coach Prime and Coach Mo?
Man, it's a blessing. I think me and Coach Mo talk every morning that that we are in the building. I want to say at 5:00, like it's like clockwork. Just making sure everything is correct for the day. Seeing if it's something that he want to change, or if I think of something that maybe can help. Working with Coach Prime is fun. You get to see a legend walking, you know, and you get to see the other side of him, you know, transitioning into being a probably gonna be one of the greatest Power Five football coaches. You know, he's been coaching his whole life,
Right.
you know, because he's been coaching Little League, he's been
Right.
coaching Pop Warner, if they have that in Texas. He's been coaching middle school, he's
Right.
been coaching high school, you know, he's coached at Jackson State, you know, and now he's here. So he's just been
And
climbing the ladder
the Under Armour All American games.
and the Under Armour All American games, you know. Um, so he's just been climbing the ladder.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is another, you know, step, you know, added onto that ladder for him to grab and pull himself up on. So, um, you know, I think when it's said and done, you know, he gonna be a top 10 coach for sure. At the minimum, top 10.
You and I'm gonna get back to y'all, but you making me think of something. The reason I think he gonna be probably more than a top 10, probably that top 5, or maybe even squeak into that number 1. Bruh, I don't know too many coaches that can go into the hood and not be worried and be chilling and hang out, and everybody gonna kick it with him. And he could go to the uppity end and hang out and kick it with him. Everybody wanna, hey, you could be in the hood. You go to the in Miami, the Poke and Bean projects, because that's one of the
Poking beans.
so they can go there. Dion could probably go in there and everybody gonna say, hey, that prime let him through, baby. That prime. So, and then again, you go to the uppity side. I don't think it's ever in history been a coach that can do that. Now I know it's coaches that go, but that don't mean they fit it. He can fit it. Like it ain't like he'll be playing it and won't like he be a faking with him. He'll be, man, what up, boy? Hey, nah, hey, put that game on, nah, man. The other, man, you know what I mean. I guarantee. I don't think there's nobody in the country like him, man. Not in as far as that. That's why I think everybody's so scared, because they know once y'all W's start coming, it's a wrap. We gonna get everybody we want. Like, bro, who can't he talk to? And who mama and daddy ain't already locked in on him? No,
that's true.
My wife watching football because of him. My daughter asked me about football because of him. My business partner wife asked me about football because of him. So, but yeah, man, he got a unique situation and he finna control it. Miller said, how did your initial experience at Indiana, as far as taking classes, weight room practice, help you to relate to the players at Colorado?
Because I've been through it. I've been through the grind. So it's easy to motivate a kid when you've been through the grind. Now you got, I don't want to call them kids. It's easy to motivate the young men.
Right.
You know, when you've been through the grind, because some of the things that we're doing, I've done.
Right.
You know, and so I know what it's supposed to look like. I know how it's gonna feel. And when I know for certain people, like, I don't want to say they breaking points, but I want to say to the point where they want to give up. And then that's when you gotta give them that, you know, that little boost, you know, so they can get through it. And so then when they come back around to it, they mental is tougher, then they gonna demolish it.
Right.
You know. But yeah, taking classes and going to practice and playing in games and doing everything, you know, it prepared me for life in general.
Right.
You know, because if you're not disciplined with all of that, how you gonna be disciplined when you don't have all that going on at the same time? You know, that gave you structure.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're not disciplined with the structure that's going on, how you gonna be disciplined when you take out class and you take out you know, going to the study hall and all you have is football, and you know what I'm saying? And what you gonna do with your free time when you have too much free time? Are you gonna be idle or go trick it off somewhere, you know? But, you know, I just try to stay the course. Like now, you know, I wake up, you know, kiss my boys in the morning, kiss my wife, and go to work and give my all at work. You know, when we're done with the guys, I'm sitting down at my desk trying to get my stuff straight for when it's my turn to be a head strength coach. You know, trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
And then, my main thing is I leave work at work. I
Right.
don't take work home with me. When I come home, I am a husband and a father.
Yeah.
I leave work at work.
Putting that work in. And look, I already know before you even said that, I'd already said in the back of my head, oh, he gonna get that job. And I ain't want to say it because I know everybody be like, don't try to rush him out there to get a job. But bruh, I know you gonna get a job and you gonna rock it. And when you get it, let me get that interview. Because
For sure.
I already know where to start at. We're gonna start from right when the day you left to your head job and how
For
you felt when you
sure.
got that call. I already know what we're gonna talk about. But
For sure.
Sarah C said, can you please explain the metrics used to grade the athletes during the strength and conditioning phase, i.e., the peak performance leaders, and also what role can these I'm assuming players, or what roles can this play into the finalization of the depth chart?
Well, the finalization of the depth chart is solely on the players.
Right.
That's between the players and the coaches. We give everybody the same opportunity within the weight room. Now, are some guys stronger than others?
Right.
True, but I played with, I've coached weight room All Americans and get on the field and it ain't translating.
Yeah.
So the finalization of the depth chart that's between them and their coaches.
Yeah.
The coaches upstairs. That's on your performance when the pads come on. That
Yeah.
has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
But our measurements for peak power. Um, we look at watts. We look at meters per second. How fast are they moving the bar? We use vault force plates. If anybody want to look those up, there's different kinds. You have vault, Hawkins, Sparta. Those measure power output.
Yeah.
To see how powerful our guys are from takeoff position to landing position. I don't want to get too many gems out,
Yeah.
but that's just a little tidbit.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, y'all. Hey, you heard it, Chelsea. She been asking about it too. She asked, let me see, I think DB Alto the other time when he was on. Hold on, I'm
Oh
trying to
yeah.
hold on, let me see. Let me get you. Justin King said, ask him what group he feels are excelling right now.
All of them.
All of hey, I like that.
All of them.
I like that. Um,
All of them are excelling.
all right, she said Krista said, Coach has had a long journey in his young life. I like the way Coach Mo teaches at a professional level and at a coaching level. Smart man. Matt Mills said, do you see yourself having a long career under Coach Prime, or do you see yourself coaching soon? Well, strength and coaching.
I can't be the dictator of it. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm where I need to be when I need to be there.
Yeah.
So if I'm meant to be here for this year, I'm meant to be here. I'm in it now. Right now, I'm here.
Yeah.
I just look forward to our first game. I just look forward to every day that I go into work. You know what I'm saying? I'm always in it now. If somebody come calling, whenever that time is, next year, 2 years, 3 years,
Yeah.
then when it's my time, then it's my time.
Right. Be Real said, what's the difference from the first group of players to the guys y'all have now?
The first group of players, they were good players. It's unfortunate that they just weren't, you know, the fit at the time, you know, but most of them, I think like 90% of them have found other homes, which is cool. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So, um, I'm happy for them, but the guys that we have now, I think the mentality is just a little bit different.
Right. Everybody trying to eat. I'm talking about hit that lead type of eat. Um, DJG said, how are the guys enjoying, or how are you guys enjoying the new energy of the players?
We love it. You know what I'm saying? And um, we get challenged, you know, and when we get challenged, like we live for it because you know that give us that old nostalgic feeling of when we was in our prime, you know, and it's fun. Like the energy of the players is always at a high level, you know. It's some days where it's a little lower, so you know we got to give them a little kick, you know, to get that thing back up and wake them up. But it usually don't take long, you know. You got your certain guys that come in that thing off the rip,
Yeah,
talking mad cash,
yeah,
and that's what we live for.
yeah. Z said, how does your family like coming to Boulder and the metropolitan area?
My family love it, you know. I know a lot of coaches who leave first and then bring their family. Excuse me, but I can't be too far away from my family for too long, so I brought them with me.
Yeah,
We stayed in the hotel for a week. We found us a place, and we in this beautiful home, and my family loves it. My son, he loves coming up to the school, you know,
yeah,
seeing where daddy worked.
yeah,
You know, he see the players, he get out there on the field with the football, and he just go ham. So my wife loves it. Excuse me, you know, some of the coaches wives downstairs, you know, they get together and they powwow and whatnot.
yeah,
But you know, it's nice. You know, you get to drive in to see the mountains,
yeah.
and I think that's like one of the coolest things ever. You know, and my son just be like, "Wow!" every time he see it, like he never seen it before.
How old are you yours?
So my oldest is 2,
Okay,
and my youngest is finna turn 8 months.
okay. See, I got about to be 10 in August, in November 9, and then we started all the way over, and I got a 1 year old, but he'll turn 2 in January. Mhm.
Okay.
Now, I wanna ask you something too. I know I'm letting them ask, but I'm why I got you on. I want to know if you wouldn't have went back to IU to get back in shape, what was you gonna do with your life then? What direction you would have went?
Um, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I knew I would have been working somewhere. Like I probably would have went into real estate
Mhm.
because I had always had like a little infatuation with it.
Yeah.
I probably would have dove real hard in the real estate.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or I would have went back to school and became a physical therapist.
Okay.
Either
So
one of those two routes.
would have got
Uh,
you.
yeah, just one of those two routes would have got me. You know,
Okay.
but that would have been the way that I would have went if I didn't go back to my alma mater.
Okay. I give you like two more questions, man. Cause I don't want because you gave me an amazing story, bro. I told you we've been doing this since 2019 and we've been interviewing some of everybody. I ain't never seen a story like yours. Man, that yours blessed with a lot of connections. Um, Carl said, when do you and Coach Mo come up with your workouts if there is no secret sauce to it? Like if you could talk about it.
Uh,
That's what
uh,
he's saying.
all five minds, man. We sit in the office and we come up with it. We brainstorm. You know, it's kind of like when the jury goes into the chamber and
Yeah,
they can be in there for hours.
yeah,
Like we be in there brainstorming, coming up with ideas and trying new techniques. We might go out on the floor and try new techniques, but I can't say
yeah,
the X's and O's of
yeah,
what we do and how we start. But um, if any of y'all on this podcast and on this interview, listeners are trying to get into strength and conditioning, when we come back in the next summer and we put up, the application for interns, come on an intern and you can see it firsthand.
yeah,
So if you're really interested, especially the person that asked that question.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Put your application in when we come back in April of 2024 when we put it on Instagram. Follow CU Football and CU Buff Strength.
and let's work. I hit you with this one, and I'll let you go, man. You done get, like I said, you done gave me an amazing story. A. Jefferson says, do you have any advice for an up and coming strength coach? I sent for my CS exam in 3 weeks.
Oh, you sit for it. Hey, just what you know you're gonna know. What you know you're gonna know when you take that practice test, the things that you don't really know in particular, that's what you need to harp on. And when you go in there, pray, let go and let God. And what's for you is gonna be for you. Just was that A. Jefferson? You said who asked that question?
Yeah, Amon Jefferson. But
Yeah, so A. Jefferson, I took the CS 7 times, brother or sister. Man, I want to make sure I don't mess it up. But I took the CS 7 times. You know what I'm saying? So there's hope for you. So go in there with a clear mind and tell yourself that you're gonna pass it.
Right.
And you're gonna pass it. Speaking into existence. You got 3 weeks. You're gonna pass it in 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's gonna be. And after you pass it, man, shoot me an email.
Hey, bro, what's the odds you come on? He never brought this out, and then he say the exam, and you know what exam, boy, God be working, don't it? Hey,
oh yeah, for sure.
Hey Jefferson, you heard him say once you pass, shoot him the email. You better just email him tonight. Like what? Hey, bro, that on me. Matter of fact, you better email as soon as we get off. Let him know that was you, man. Because he probably got some study material for you too. Hey, check this out. Hey, man, I ain't gonna hold you no more. I'm gonna end right off that because that ain't nothing but God right there. Listen, bro, God, you see how God been blessing you. You said the exact same thing that me and my partners talking about. When you marry, boy, and the Bible be saying it. When you marry your wife, that's your favorite. That's your crown. So hey, you rocking and rolling in it, and she winning right along with you, and she blessing you because y'all rocking. So man, may God bless you on your journey. With your journey been so amazing. And like I said, I want that interview when you roll. And like you said, whenever God give it to you. But man, may God bless you and all the strength and conditioning coaches as well as the players, man, having them finish up amazing, have an amazing season. And then, man, may you just hit all the whatever you dreaming of in this field and this season and this month and each and every month. May God let you exceed that, man. May you be just sitting, smiling, you and your wife just laughing, and your son's just like, Daddy, boy, you the man, Daddy. Like, listen, God bless you all over, man. May He bless you with your family. Get to come up there and kick it with y'all. May they come meet y'all at away games as well, man. May blessings just run overflowing in your life, your wife life, all the people y'all connected to, all the staff, the strength and conditioning coaches, the whole staff of Colorado, man. May all the blessings roll everywhere. But like I said, man, blessings to you on your journey and that head coaching job, bro. I want to holler at you, boy. But again, blessings to you. Appreciate you for rocking with us. Like I said, I've been interviewing since 2019. I ain't your story. Boy, your story got to be number one.
No, man, my story, you know what I'm saying, it's just, it's just a few chapters, but God, like you said, man, God has blessed us. Right. I want more blessings for you and your podcast and for your family, but it's just, it's a grind. It was a grind. It is a grind, and it always will be a grind. So, you just gotta stick with it.
Got to.
So,
hey, appreciate you, man. I know everybody love you. I can see it in the chats. They were happy about you, man. I told them you was gonna be a baller because when I found out about IU, but I didn't know you was gonna give me this. And like I said, God was in the main part of it, but He connected you in so many ways. Like your connections brought you right here. And now, hey, check this. Now I'm connected to you. So, baby, it's on and popping, baby.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know
for
where our
sure.
story gonna meet up again. Oh, matter of fact, I'm gonna see you anyways. Because I'm coming to the TCU game. God done blessed it with Tremaine and his company sponsored us to go over there. So I'm coming to the TCU game, coming to
Bet.
the Nebraska game, coming to the
Okay.
USC game.
Oh yeah, it's
Try to
lit.
get to that. I'm gonna try to, and then I know the Oregon coach. We interviewed him, but I interviewed him before, but I interviewed him again. He at Oregon, so we might end up over there. And man, I'm trying to come to every game I can with y'all. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I
for
end up seeing
sure.
you in person though when I get up there.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. You know, come down to the weight room, man. We get you up under the iron again.
Yeah. I get up and well, hey, I ain't gonna hit that much weight. I ripped the meat off my bone one time at my school. I'm talking about I heard it when it popped. I put it down and I was living. We was doing your max. So I'm
Yeah.
maxing out, and my max was like 285. I'm a DB, so I
It's
know you.
all good.
Yeah,
It's
so
all good.
I'm throwing it up. I heard it. Bah! Yeah, dog, that thing just dropped.
Hey, man, don't worry, man. We got new tools to help that out.
Okay, well then when I get up there, I'm gonna holler at you, see what that is. Then hey,
For sure.
blessings to you, man. Congratulations in advance too. Congratulations all the way through, man. Appreciate you rocking with us and thank you for man giving us the gold mine, brother. You gave us one for real. But
Man,
blessings to you, big
appreciate you
dog.
having me, man. Appreciate you having me.
Anytime, man. Anytime. But hey, again, like I said, I see you. I see you
Oh,
soon.
for sure.
Appreciate you, man.
Blessings.
Yep.
Blessings.
All right. Hey, y'all. I knew his story was good, but I didn't know it was this good. I just was thinking about Indiana good. But the boy's story is top notch. I'm telling you, I've been interviewing since 2019. He got to be number one. But hey, blessings to y'all. If y'all gonna rock with me on the after show, come rock with me. If not, I understand. You got a great show. Y'all got a great one on this one. I'm talking about, hey, all of them be good. But this number one. This number one out of all of them I done so far. Forgive me anybody else who I done it with. But to me, I ain't never seen how God worked this thing. I'm talking about worked it. Work. God worked that thing. Hey, blessings to y'all. If y'all gonna rock out with me on the after show, I'm gonna set that all up, and then y'all know I'm gonna jump on. Hey, blessings to y'all. Holla, holla, holla.